Hey folks, I'm Aspen Arrow. Welcome back to Rimworld and our base game, no DLC, no mods playthrough to learn this game. Or at least some basics in this game. So we are back with Crawford, Duster, and Shadow in our little base. We've got some rice stone. We're getting the rest of our things hauled. Probably should work on making sure everyone brings over these survival meals before they disappear, since we don't have much food yet. Oh, today, I guess, is day 2. Yes. So day 2, I do need to let you know I accidentally reset the learning helper again. So we may just whiz through a few things. But let's get going. So while they're pulling those over into our shelter, we can take a look at our resources. We do have enough wood to go ahead and throw down some beds if we want to. You can see we have some wild heel root ready to harvest. So we will go ahead and add that to our list of things to grab. Lucked out, there's quite a bit here. You can double click to select it all, but I want to make sure just to pick the ones that are ready to harvest. You can harvest early, but I believe you get a lower chance. I'm not 100% sure if it's a lower chance to get the resource. You can see the trees too have the same thing. But let's go ahead and toss down some beds now. Got through our first night. I'm just going to toss 3 beds up in there. Might have heard a grumpy dog for a minute. Alright, so let's check some of our other things. We've got our work tab set up. We've got our schedule, just giving them some recreation. Another thing I forgot to do last time is I actually want to change some of this. So if they get attacked, I actually want them to attack. And you can just drag and drop. I also want them to only have doctor care and no medicine. That way we don't use medicine for things like bruises. At least not right now. Later on in the game when you have tons of medicine, probably fine. Food policy, I am going to go into this and just pick lavish, which is what they're on. Don't want them to eat rotten food. And I don't want them to eat raw resources, random plants we may have, or corpses right now. They also don't like hay or kibble, so we'll go ahead and turn that off for now. And I believe ambrosia and beer have a food value, but that should be managed in the drug policy. So for now, we'll just let them have everything else. And I'm also fine with social drugs, but if you maybe had ideology, easy peasy, set it to no drugs. Or you're doing a theme run, and of course you can make your own policies. I'm sure we'll do that, but not now. And reading is a newer one. You can choose what they might read, and books can add various things, so we'll look at it when we find them. They can also be assigned to carry medicine. But let's see who can actually do. So we have 6, 0, and 0. So let's have Shadow carry a couple pieces of medicine. I don't know why I said pieces, but a couple medicine kits. So we'll have him carry 2. And I see that we still have some packaged survival meals, so I'm actually going to tell Crawford and Shadow here to go ahead and haul the rest of those over. And make this zone just a little bigger so you can see I can click it. Click expand or U and just make it a little bigger. Why don't you haul that medicine in? Go ahead and speed them up. Go. And unfortunately, we did get an awful bed. I don't remember. Do we have a couple? Yeah. So we're going to deconstruct the awful bed. Want normal. You can come into info. See, it provides comfort. Also gives you all the stats on immunity, rest effectiveness. The normal is fine. You see, it's less comfortable and we're not as effective at rust. So let's go ahead and try one more time to get a better bed. And we'll also go ahead and chop some more wood. Of course, the colonists don't like being out in all this rain, but they're just going to have to live with it. And since we have some things going, we will toss down a chest table and another stool. Go ahead and get rid of those, and Shadow can go sleep in a bed instead. He'll be less upset. Gets a mood debuff for sleeping on the ground, and it's an awful barracks, but what are you gonna do? Did notice that we have bond with our fox. If I come back here to needs, Beta's master, you can see. Now, if I was to change this, they'll actually get a little broken heart. So if you don't want your mood debuff from not being someone's master, it can be a good thing to pay attention to. There are other things that add complexity to that in ideology, but we don't have ideology on, so no need to worry here. And we should probably go ahead and get a research table down. Probably should fit right there. I think it's 3. So we go into production, simple research bench, toss it right there. At some point we'll need to get a little kitchen going, but for now this will have to do. And I always like to double check, what's my home zone looking like? And we look okay. Something else that can be useful early game is to check your wildlife tab. You can see it shows all the animals on the map, their chance to revenge or come after you if you hunt them or try and tame them. And if you find the predator, you can click on. There may be some meat around them and some pelt from the animals they hunt. Unfortunately, doesn't look like anything. You can see we have a bunch of steel down here. I don't want to get hunted by the wolf, so I'm actually going to disallow it for now. Again, all I did, double click, allow, and disallow. Taking a peek around our map here. So that was our only predator. Okay. That's all right. Getting on towards evening, so our folks are probably going to want to sleep. I'm going to double check all that food's in, which it is. I guess the pants are just there for eternity. And our builder is... Oops. Oh, I forgot to make another bed. I'm gonna grab Duster here and shift click to get that bed made before everyone needs to sleep. And speed up again. Otherwise we are gonna be here a very long time. Well, it's poor. We'll make do with it for tonight. At least gets them off the floor. Crawford apparently is still feeling very awake at 11 o'clock at night. Out there chopping trees. Shadow also awake. I guess everyone took a nap and now they can't go back to bed. Sounds familiar. We are getting a notice that we need warm clothes. Outdoor temperature will reach 39 degrees, so it will be something to work towards. We are fortunately coming out of winter, but you can see it is not the warmest even in our shelter, but it's certainly livable, so we're okay. I have no idea where Shadow went. Is he up there getting... Oh. A single survival meal. Alright. So you can see that can take a lot of time to go get that one meal. And while food is important, maybe wasn't the most important thing. So it can be really good, as we talked about last time, to figure out what your zones are. You know, maybe I wanted to say nearby is more like this. And then he wouldn't go all the way over there to get that meal. For now, it's fine. We're just trying to get the base set up. But zones are super important because they've got to walk all the way up there to get that. We could, of course, dig a hole through, but I don't want to do that yet. And we may not do that at all. Having mountains as our natural barrier here is super nice. We can tunnel into them if we want. And we can probably, using our orders and our plan, do something like this for walls and have a pretty good sized area. And that does encompass this geothermal here. We could also probably block that off. The raiders would have to break the wall. Haven't got a raid yet, but I imagine we'll get one soon. Can decide if we want to try and build up a trap tunnel or just toss a couple of traps down. I think with 3 people, we're probably fine. So I'm going to let them keep hauling. I'm going to come check our wolf again. And yeah, I just don't even see any wildlife near it. So it also means he might come after us. So warrants keeping an eye on. And come down here and grab some berries. And if I just hold my left, I can highlight those and we'll get some more. See, who is our grower? Crawford. Okay, so when Crawford's done sleeping, they should hopefully get up. As we have our rice down, well, let's go ahead and get it expanded. Want to expand into this dark green. And then I want a new growing zone. So I'm going to come over here. And we are going to plant a little bit of cotton. So that if nothing else, we can make some cotton parkas or dusters for the winter. But it should at least get us something going. We also got our research bench made, so we can start our research project. And I just realized I need to turn on the learning helper. There we go. So as we already saw, move WASD. And we saw this last time too. If I click all these and draft them, I can hold down my right button to try to arrange them however I might want them. And then they'll go do that, but we will undraft for now. So let us grab our research project and lots of choices. As we started Crash Landed, we do actually start with electricity. And so I'm going to go ahead and grab the battery really quick. And I'm going to check my work. And it looks like my researcher is Shadow. So I think we've got most of the important things hauled. I do want the base cleaned. And then we'll do some research. Also gonna go ahead and make another bed. See if we can't get something better than poor. You see, we're also getting notice we need a meal dispenser or a meal source, which can be a stove, campfire, or nutrient dispenser. So we go into temperature for fire. You can cook a meal on it. You can grab an electric stove, a fueled stove, or a nutrient paint dispenser, which we actually can't build. And then the dispenser would need hoppers attached to it where they put the food. We will probably go an electric stove since we cannot build a nutrient-based dispenser. That's okay. And we'll go ahead. Oh, and we botched the construction, but we'll go ahead and speed up again. And we got a normal bed, so let's get rid of this poor one. And we can boost our comfort a little bit by tossing a dresser here, which will connect to all of our beds. Oh. Thusder, not the best construction, but that's okay. We'll deconstruct that and move that bed over. There we go. Little base growing. They have some recreation. They still have 40 meals. We have some medicine. We have a visitor. Scout visiting. All right. And we're harvesting up some berries, which they can eat raw. Has a 2% chance to get food poisoning, but boy does it feel more often than that when you eat them. Of the early game challenges, managing food poisoning when you didn't get a good enough cook. Hey, that's 92 berries, so I actually want them to eat the berries. I'm gonna disallow the food for now so that we eat what's going to spoil. And you can see the wolf has in fact come up closer, which means he could attack our fox, Beta, or one of our colonists. We're gonna hope he doesn't. If our bonded animal dies, it will actually cause a pretty big mood debuff, and if Shadow dies, it could also cause some problems, so. Could hunt it. I'm not sure I feel like that's necessary. It is also sleeping right now, so Crawford out taking a walk. Seems like we have plenty of wood going. Random incendiary shell for some reason. Here's our visitor, raccoon, just hanging out. If we wanted to, we could try and abduct raccoon. See, they are a jogger, which means they move faster, body purists, so they won't like a prosthetic arm or bionic. They'll get a mood debuff. See, pretty good with animals, intellectual shooting. All in all, a reasonable pawn. But if we take them, we'll probably make the Latrue pack pretty angry, so I don't know that we have a reason to take raccoon today, but you could. And if you wanted to, you draft and say, try to arrest. Of course, we don't have a prison, so that also impacts things. A few things we probably should get working on tomorrow is some stone cutting. So we should throw down a stone cutter stable. And we'll just toss it outside. And then we should also work on a little prison and a little kitchen. We'll try to get our stone cutting done first. Let's go ahead and speed up again. Can she see Shadow making good research time? Already halfway through that battery, so that's awesome. All right, and learning. To make colonists work at a table, select the table and open the Bills tab. Here you can say what meals to cook, what things to craft, what creatures to put. We are in fact going to do that. We're going to add a bill and we're going to see what's around. We have some limestone. We have a lot of marble. See? And again, just double click. I can highlight. And if I scroll out, I can highlight even more. So for our walls, we'll probably use limestone. For our base, we can use marble. And it's pretty close, so actually that's limestone. Oh, and we got a gift. We'll take a look in a minute. So you could say make any blocks. You can specify which ones. For now, let's just make marble. Go into details. Change this to do until you have X. Let's say 200. Pause when it's satisfied. And when we're down to like 80, 85, let's make some more. Go ahead and just drop those on the floor. That way they aren't stopping and carrying them all the time. I don't want them going really far away from the base, so I can control that by saying, hey, here's the radius in which I want you to go. And then let's make sure someone's set up to do that. Pretty good, pretty much done constructing. So let's actually go ahead and have Duster make us some blocks. Doesn't really matter what their skill here is. And we will also take a look at what we got. It looks like we got a tribal headrest, yes. Which Duster is just gonna wear, so that's fine. Does provide some basic protection, a little bit of insulation, and a impact to how well people socialize. Oh, if you are a social person, oh yeah, pretty social, so that's awesome. Good person for that to go on. See, I don't have a marble block yet, so it's not gonna let me pick, but once we get some blocks, we will set up. We can, of course, use our little planner. We don't need a huge kitchen. Probably just something like that. And what's our soil look like? I don't want to build on our good soil here. We can make our prison like this and just put our door. We'll need to mine that piece out. That's okay. All right, hide that back. One thing I do want to check, I come here to visibility of roof. You can see down in the corner, it says constructed roof, dirt × 1, rough limestone and lit. So inside will always be 50%, outside 100%. Sunlight may change that, but as a general rule, this isn't going to get over 50. But what I'm looking for is dark green. See if we have any on the map. We do not. So dark green indicates that something's under overhead mountain. And that has some downsides, like bug spawns. I don't really want to deal with bugs yet, so I just want to check and make sure, hey, if I mine out this piece, I'm going to be okay. And I am. So I'm going to go ahead and say, let's mine those two out. And set someone... Oh, poor Duster. Zero, 1. All right. We'll let Crawford take over crafting then. And have Duster mine out this little spot for us. Grab marble wall. And I don't want an outside door because I don't want my prisoner escaping out of it. So with that, we'll go ahead and speed up again while they work on their tasks. And voila, we've already looked at battery. I'm actually going to stop and pause. Normally I'd leave it running, but they keep going when you're in this menu. So now that I have a battery, it does make it possible for me to use the wind turbine. I'm going to go ahead and grab the solar panel as well. And that'll probably be the start of our power grid. The geothermal's a little far away to try and get to right now, so I'm okay with using something else. Geothermals are amazing, but we don't need to use them right now. And then we will put a steel door on our prison here. And we'll put a door onto our kitchen. And again, we don't really need to go outside. Having a lot of people running through your kitchen. So if there's a door here and they go through the door, through the kitchen, through this door, we'll track a lot of dirt. And while I'm thinking about it, I'll go ahead and expand my home zone. And clear off this little extra. They obviously won't clean the rock, so that's fine. Fortunately, Duster having a very rough time making it. And we did select solar panel, so Shadow should get on that here in a minute. Uh-oh. And we have animals. So I have hit the pause button. Says Mad Gazelle has gone mad and will attack everyone it sees. So it is pretty far away. But this might be a time where I say, hey, stay nearby. And I'll go ahead and send our fox inside. Or this might be a time I go, you know what? Just go ahead and go inside. Can probably take a gazelle. You can see it running on down. So our learning helper says, animals will attack doors. Manhunting animals will attack doors if they see one of your colonists moving through them. They will also attack inactive turrets. You. So, manhunting or mad animals will bang on the door if they see you go in. And that's okay. We are going to go ahead and probably just fight. So I'm going to intentionally stick someone in the door. Go ahead and move you back to get a better shot. And that gazelle should be coming around. There it is. All right, Crawford. Good luck. You have a 0 in melee. We are not good shots, but hey, 2 shots. There it is. Okay. So 1 animal taken care of. We can now butcher this. So you could do this with a butcher spot. Just toss it down. You'll get less meat and less leather. Or we can toss down a butcher table. Having your butcher table in your kitchen can cause some problems, because it does leave blood and it will make your kitchen dirty. Later on, matters a lot less, I think, but for now, I'm actually going to put that table outside. And you can see we're almost through another day. Our room is still closed off. So we're okay even though this didn't get done. If this was open, I'd want to make sure it was closed, because then this would not be considered indoors. I can tell because it's currently a barracks. You can see the little blue highlight around the room. All right, so, and we can unrestrict everybody. In fact, I'm gonna just keep everybody nearby still. I don't think we have a lot of reason to be going really far away. Don't know where our wolf went. I'm pretty far up. Might eat one of those alpaca, which would be, again, more food for us. And we are working towards that stove. Back over we go. Plenty of berries to eat. We're doing okay. Mood's staying decent. Crawford doing an excellent job with those blocks for us. We'll speed up again. Oh, so I do want to make sure Duster makes that door. You can see. See, I'm not getting anything. You can also toggle room stats. No room. So I do want to make sure. Where'd you go, Duster? Really want you to get that door done, please. Crawford in a good mood, so we'll move faster. Excellent. See the little bulb go frenzy. That'll indicate what their inspiration is. It have a good mood, and so there's a chance something like going faster or making a better product, lots of different interactions with that. So high mood can be a great thing to try to achieve. Right now, we're just going to do the best we can because we have finite resources. Go ahead and add on we have enough wood, we'll just do a fueled stove for now. And then I'm actually going to make 2 little shelves. And I also want a torch. So again, we need to set up a bill. I'm just going to say cook some simple meals and do until we have like 10 is fine. You can pick what's in them. For now, we don't need to prioritize that much, so just simple meal is fine. And I'm going to put 1 shelf as meals, except for these packaged survivals. There we go. And then I'm going to come in here, clear all, and this will be raw food. And apparently we need to give our faction a name. And let's go with the Aspen arrows again. I believe that's what we were in our last run. And you know what? Tooth Basin sounds great. Let's go to Tooth Basin. I'm good with that. And we'll make this a little shorter. Arrows, there we go. Our lovely home of Tooth Basin. And you can see Crawford getting right on cooking. Okay, cook. So there's still a chance of food poisoning, but even with higher levels, there will remain a chance of food poisoning. And we can hold that door open so that it's not constantly needing to open and close when they go through it, but it does keep this a separate room. Want to make sure this kitchen is clean. So dirty -1 is fine. You can see we gave it that little clean. Should be good for now. Won't hopefully get food poisoning from dirty cooking environment. Where are you off to? Oh, more blocks. Should be just about, yeah. And we'll add a bill. Butcher creature, do forever. And you could here choose to butcher humans, whatever. And I'm kind of fine with anything being butchered at this point, but again, there might be a time that you don't want insect meat, or I don't know. Maybe you really don't want the huskies hurt. I always hate when the dogs are hurt. But for now, this will be just fine. And so Crawford should go butcher that gazelle here in a minute, which will spoil in 2 days, but get it taken care of before then. And we'll toss a bed in our prison, toss a light, and that'll be about it for now. It's not a good prison. It's gonna have to just do. Oh, right as I hit the fast forward. So a disaster survivor named Steven is crashing in a transport pod nearby. If he survives the impact, he will be badly wounded. He is from your enemy and you can capture him for slavery or recruitment. Hey, Steven. A 14-year-old male with a psychite addiction. Take a look at his stats. He's kind, which is nice. You can see he's exceptionally agreeable and giving person, rarely insults others or starts fights, and will sometimes offer kind words to brighten the mood of those around them. He will also never judge people by their appearances, which is just sweet. Decent at medical, animals, plants, melee. Seems fine to me. He did come with some psychite tea. He will likely have to go through withdrawal, but that's all right. So, I believe Shadow is our medical. Let's draft him to tend Steven without medicine. And let's hope Duster gets this little prison done here very quickly. My shadow goes to capture young Stephen. Guess we're also going to have to mine this out really quick. I'm actually going to clear prioritize, tell him to go mine that out. Check on Stephen. He's doing all right. That's going to take a hot minute. All right, he's tended. We'll hopefully get that bleed done. Come on. Okay. There we go. So in the absence of having a bed, we're just going to toss down a sleeping spot. I'll have to do. We're going to say 4 prisoners. Tell them to haul that out of there. Go check on Shadow. And capture Stephen, who's trying to crawl away. And see, we already have some rice coming in, which is excellent. So, equipping weapons. Your colonists arrive with some weapons. Equip them. So we already took care of that. Everyone has their weapons, and my setting in the UI is to have them shown all the time. Lets me know who to grab if I need to hit someone with a melee weapon. If I'm going hunting, I just find it very handy. And we've got a pretty good walk back with Shadow, so let's get rid of this. Make it a medical bed, which doesn't really matter, but we will have to say, hey, capture Stephen again. All right, and that popped up quite a few things to learn about. You can see he's all tended. We will undraft. And while I'm thinking about it, we want to come into change default medicine. And I want everyone to get doctor, but nothing else. Again, that way I'm not using medicine on things I don't need to until later in the game. For now, we have some herbal medicine. This is fine. He can eat lavish meals, but you could say, hey, you don't get any food. Control what your prisoners eat. Do operations, which of course, I think many people have seen. We will not be operating on Stephen, though. Try and keep our war crimes to a minimum today. And we will go ahead and set him to recruit. So, drug burning. Drugs can be useful, but also lead to harmful addictions. If you want to avoid drugs in your colony, you have the option of burning them at the campfire. Or selling them. Drug addiction. You can inspect your colonists' desire to take a drug in their needs tab. As long as their level is at 0, their addiction changes to a withdrawal state, which can have various negative side effects. However, after long enough in withdrawal, their addiction will end and the drug need will disappear. So depending on how long Stephen stays in here, yeah, you can see 24 days to get through. And he does have had Psychite on him, but I think when we arrested him, it got dropped. Yeah. So we will, oh, Duster's already taking care of hauling that. Stephen will hopefully not get an infection. And I think that's probably about a good place to call it. About 40 minutes here. So, how many days have we made it? We are now 4 days in. We've managed to get some food. We are growing some cotton for some clothes. We're researching. We have a small kitchen, beds, and our first prisoner. We survived a mad gazelle. And we hopefully learned a few things along the way. If you did enjoy the video, I do hope you'll consider leaving a like and subscribe. As always, have a pleasant day, and I'll see you next time.